Are you ready to manifest your soulmate? This is Soulmate Manifesting 101. You're like me and you are manifesting your soulmate right now. Someone you don't know yet, someone you don't know their name, you don't know what they look like, then this is the video for you. I have a 4-step process that's going to help you manifest your soulmate. And I want to add that I am doing this in real time. So I am in the works of manifesting my husband. He is on the way, and you are going to watch me in real time use my own tips. Let me tell you, I have been studying everything you can think of when it comes to soulmates, love, dating, romance since 1901. Let me tell you, it's been a really long time. And through the journey of studying everything I can get my hands on, especially when it comes to Neville and conscious creation and the law of assumption, let me tell you, I have incredible tips from everything I've studied. So here we go. Are you ready to manifest your dream life partner? Here are the 4 steps: soulmate love, soulmate self, soulmate blocks, and soulmate bridge. So step 1 is the fun part. It's literally the part that I've done a million times. So when anyone tells you to write down the list of what you desire, anytime I hear that in the law of assumption world, or, get clear on what you want, I made I'll hear, it's just kind of funny. I'll see these videos of people who'll be like, I made a list and I threw it away. And then 2 weeks later, I met my soulmate. And of course, being who I am with my own journey of craziness, I could write a dating sitcom at this point. I always laugh at that because I'm like, do you know how many times I've made a list? I probably made a list a million times. But that is why I have 4 steps for you, because really it's the additional steps that I got really stuck in, right? And so step 1 to me is the easiest step. It's soulmate love. It's getting clear on the vision. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get really clear on what you desire, what you want. Obviously get super clear on what this person is like. What are their qualities? What are you looking for? Obviously do that work if you haven't. Make that list. Get clear, okay? And more importantly, I want you to get even more clear on what you want in terms of the relationship. So do you want to get married? Do you want to have kids? Now, let's say you want to get married. This is the key part to this, by the way. If you want to get married, okay, so you're manifesting your husband or your wife, okay, why? Why do you want to get married? And this is huge and very connected to step 2, which we're going to get to in a second. But you need to have a fun mindset in terms of your why. What that means is you want to focus on the things you're going to do together, the fun you're going to have. Because if you're just wanting to get married to make yourself feel like you're worthy enough, that is not going to be a sustainable manifestation. And we're going to talk about self-concept in a second. So stick with me here. But for step 1, you need to establish a bigger reason than I just want to be adored or I just want to feel like I'm worthy, right? You want to establish a mission together, or hobbies together, or a lifestyle together. So you want to get into your fun mindset and figure out all the reasons why you want this marriage or this partnership. And then of course you can add that to your little list. You can make a list of all the fun things you want to do with this person. And really get clear, what do you love to do by yourself? What do you want to share with a partner? Okay, next, we're going to do this thing called getting the essence with templates. This is probably the hardest part when it comes to not having a specific person. You don't know what they look like. You have no idea what they look like, right? You know nothing about them. And so sometimes it can be very hard to visualize this soulmate when you have nothing to go on. So I've seen some videos where they talk about not having a physical visual and really just focusing on a kind of a gray kind of essence, if you will, of a person with you, so you can get into the feeling of being with that person, right? But I find that doesn't work for me. I need a template to work with. But you also don't want to get too tripped up in it being one physical type, right? So what I like to do is I like to find at least about 5, you could do more, let's say 5 templates of celebrities or characters in shows that are the essence of the person that you're desiring, right? Especially characters in shows, I find is really good because you're watching the show. And so you understand the character and the ways they are, and that can give you that essence of what you're looking for. So you want to get clear on the essence using these templates. Maybe you even have images inside your vision board. And that is going to help you get into the feeling, into the essence of being with this person. So once you get clear on the vision, once you establish what soulmate love is for you, then you are going to thank the universe, thank God. You're going to immediately go into gratitude because you know the minute you got clear is done. Okay, now that we've done the soulmate love vision work, now we're going to go to step 2, soulmate self. This is the step that most people miss, or they brush over it, or they don't really do it. And here's why. Because soulmate self is the self-concept work that you need to do in order to manifest a soulmate that's going to stick. So here's the thing. Soulmates exist. They are real. How I know they're real is because I have examples in my life, I'm sure you do too, of people who you know are just literally destined for each other. They're complete soulmates. Okay, but just because soulmates exist doesn't mean that there's just one person for you, one soulmate for you. Okay, there's infinite amount of soulmates and you only need one. Infinite amount, you only need one. So really get into the love abundance, that there's more than enough to go around, that you're not just looking for a needle in a haystack. You're really just opening yourself up to all the timelines and all the possibilities and allowing and understanding that it's all going to flow perfectly. Okay. So in order to flow and to trust, we need to work on the self-concept. We need to get into the sovereignty of self and mating with the soul within. So the true self-concept work is that wholeness feeling, that wholeness state, becoming whole within. So basically, really step 2 is marrying yourself. Whether you want to look at it as marrying yourself or marrying God or marrying Jesus like I did, you want to see it as partnering with the soul, partnering with the divine, okay? And that is the true work because there's no such thing as waiting for the soulmate. The minute we think we're waiting for the soulmate to come, we're already in the state of not having it, right? So the soulmate is here. That's why we thanked God immediately. The soulmate has arrived. So as you're on the journey in kind of the 3D, because obviously time doesn't exist, but we are in the timeline of the movie. So as you're living through the movie, you already know you found him. You already know you found your soulmate, but you're living through the movie. And as you're living through the movie, this is the work we're going to do. We're going to get into that sovereignty. And I truly believe that meditation is one of the best techniques to use to do this kind of divine marriage, if you will. But we really want to become whole. We want to know that we are worthy and enough just being alive, that we do not need this partner to be worthy or enough. Okay. So that is step 1 technically it's step 2, but the first thing we're going to do within the soulmate self step. The next part of this step is you want to get into full self-trust. You need to trust and know. And if you can't trust self because you have a lot of baggage in the romance department, then you need to be trusting that divine power that's bigger than you, right? And obviously it is you, right? God is within you. The kingdom of heaven is within you. But if you can't think of it as, oh, I can trust myself, the I am Jennifer in my case, right? Like the I am name, you got to just trust in the I am presence, the divine power. And then, of course, the next step in this section of the soulmate self is you want to start acting as if throughout your day that you already have this relationship. Everything you're doing, if you're going to go to the grocery store, you're thinking, oh, I'm cooking dinner for me and my wife or husband, right? You're thinking in terms of how you would be thinking in the future version of you that is in this relationship. Now you get to choose if you want to use dating apps, if you want to actually get out there in the world and be really proactive in the dating, or if you want to not be dating at all and you just want to manifest without taking action. Both can work. Both are amazing. Okay. I did a video a couple of weeks ago on how to get into the state and stick to the state while using the dating apps. Because I truly believe that you absolutely can manifest a soulmate while you are dating. Okay. But it's a little bit more of a difficult path because you really need to work on your mindset. Whereas when you don't have any of the drama the world of Caesar is going to bring you in the dating apps, then you can just be with your imaginary soulmate. It's a lot easier to get into the feeling. However, the logical mind could say, ooh, I'm not really taking massive action on this. Maybe I'm not going to find him. So each choice is going to have its pros and its cons. Okay, so you need to figure out which one you want to do. But no matter which one you're doing, you want to become a love expert. You are about to get married. You are about to be with your partner, right? So you got to get ready. You got to start really learning everything you can learn about romance and dating and flirting and communication and love. And so you want to start to become a love expert. And last but not least, you want to get into that proper dating mindset. Now, if you're choosing not to date actively, you still want to get into the proper mindset because you never know who you're going to meet in your world, right? You're obviously going to meet him somehow, or he or she, depending on who you're manifesting, right? So you want to get into the proper dating mindset. You want to have divine faith, right? Now remember, we're not waiting. We already got it, okay? So the divine faith is in the unfolding, how the subconscious is going to do it in your movie, right? Because remember, there's a time delay. That's how you want to see it. You don't want to see it as, oh, I'm waiting. Where's my soulmate? I did this. Because believe me, I've done that for so many seasons of my dating life. You want to be in the essence of, I did it. My soulmate, me and my soulmate are together, right? And I can't wait for the unfolding in 3D, okay? It's in 4D. We're waiting for it to unfold in 3D. It's kind of like ordering something at the restaurant. You know you already ordered it. The burger's on the way. You're just relaxing, and then the burger's going to arrive, right? So you want to have that divine faith that the burger's coming, that the soulmate is on the way, in the mail. If I exist, they exist. If I exist, they exist. If all of your weirdness exists, there is a lid to your pot, right? There's a, what do they say? There's every pot has a lid or something. But if you exist, your divine match exists. Step 3 is soulmate blocks. And this is the big one. Depending if you're dating or not dating, you're going to have blocks coming up, right? Especially if you're dating, especially if you're on the dating apps. You are going to start to have all of your triggers come up. These are your limiting beliefs, okay? So whether your limiting belief is like, it's never going to happen, right? You might just have that was what I had, okay? That I had to really get clear on, and I have to catch it every time it comes back. For me, it never works out for me. Everyone gets someone, but I don't get someone. I'm never going to find him. I'm never going to fall in love. I'm never going to have love, right? Those kind of dark thoughts, those are your limiting beliefs. Those are your limiting thoughts, right? And a lot of them are neural pathways that you have carved you've impressed the subconscious mind with these things, right? Because it's such a pattern that you've said over and over and over and over and over again, okay? Whatever you've been focusing on over and over and over again. Or maybe you've had certain relationships that keep you in a limiting belief about men or about women or about relationships, right? So you need to really become a detective at catching what's coming up in this journey, okay? So we're going to go into your programming, your internal programming, and we're going to take those patterns and we're going to love blast them. Now, this is where using dating apps could actually be a benefit. And the reason is because you're going to go on these apps and you're going to come from the perspective of complete curiosity, like you're witnessing zoo animals in the wild, fascinating behavior. And the reason why you want to do that is because you don't want to get triggered. You don't want to get triggered into judging anything or anyone. You want to just kind of like come from a place of curiosity. And what's so powerful about this is who you start to manifest. How you start to manifest on these dating apps is going to actually give you that mirror of what you're still working with. It's going to give you, as Burchard says, the echo of the old, right? And you're in the face of that echo. You're going to have to face it and say, no, that's the old pattern. And you can even like look at it with curiosity and with love and say, wow, I love that old pattern, right? So if you meet someone and they're exactly like your ex, you can see, oh, okay, this is good. This is molding of the clay. This is what I don't want. And you have to stay sovereign and you have to stay in that self-trust and that powerful self-concept and say, no, I know that what I really want is the opposite of this. And what I really want is coming. It's on the way. So we are love blasting those negative, limiting, potentially dark thoughts, right? Those limiting beliefs, those dark thoughts. and we're going to love bless them. We are going to give ourselves so much love, and we're going to really start to become that detective. And again, this is where meditation is so key, because if you're not slowing down the mind, you're not going to catch it, and it's just going to spin, and you're going to spin out, and you're probably going to give up on the journey. And last but not least, step 4, the soulmate bridge. The minute you started with step 1 and got clear and thanked God for it, thanked the universe for it, you were on the bridge, my friend. You were on the bridge. You were trekking along. Here's you right here. It's been created. It's over here because, creation is finished, right? All timelines exist. So here it is. It's coming, and you're on the bridge, right? In the 3D. The 4D, it's happened, but you're on the bridge in the 3D. So while you're on the bridge, something that's extremely important, and I have to say that this is the final step. I would say step 3 and step 4 is where I got caught and stuck for decades, okay? And I finally have come through. And that's why I know and trust and believe that I have soulmate love and that it's on the way to me, right? But it's really this step that is the key and that most people miss. And really, not only is it about detaching from the outcome, and we're going to talk about that because it's not about letting go of your desire, okay? It's not like saying, oh, I let it go and I'll be okay if I'm just single forever. That is not what we're doing here. You have it. It's already here. We're not detaching from the desire. We are detaching from how the universe is going to do it. The how. How is the subconscious mind going to let it play out? How is God, however you want to say it, right? How is it all going to play out? That's the divine aspect of this, that you need to detach and let go and just release. So, detaching from the outcome. And as you detach from the outcome, you need to stay open to receive. This is the biggest key to manifesting your soulmate. You need to keep an open heart. You need to keep a receiving energy, right? That's why meditation is so key for this journey, because you really want to stay open. You want to be divinely guided, especially if you're on the dating apps. You want to stay open-hearted, loving yourself in the journey, loving others in the journey, and really overcoming those patterns, because as you do this process, I'm telling you, love is going to show up in your life. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have questions. It's a 4-step process. There's a lot to unpack. So if there's anything you want to work on, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you next week.